Oh, even when you were running, even when you were hiding, never been a moment that you were not perfectly loved. When you barely believed it, when your eyes couldn't see it, never been a moment you've always been perfectly loved. Ooh, perfectly loved. And that's my jam right there. That's a song I had on yesterday. Praise Jesus and good morning, family. Arise and shine. We made it to another one. You're alive. Act like it. Quit walking around moping and worrying and not walking in your blessings. We woke up this morning. We're blessed. So many people struggling, just getting up and finding something to eat and finding some truth. It's rough. This life's a struggle, right? But God sent people down here for us to struggle with, and so don't isolate yourself. Don't feel like you're all alone because God didn't design it for you to be alone. There's people out there that God has for you to grow with and walk this journey and this struggle with, but you have to get out of yourself and you got to get away from the pains and the hurts where the world has hurt you. That's the enemy, and he's trying to isolate you and hold you down and keep you in your shell. Because that's not following God. That's not following your purpose and helping to build the kingdom. Sons and daughters. He tells us all the truth. We just have to follow it. It brought me into, well, the first was a song this morning. Song of the day was Graves into Gardens by Elevation Worship. Like, we're all dead, but when we accept Christ, we step into that new life. A long time I accepted Christ when I was like 10, but I was still walking. I didn't understand all the spiritual things because I was young, and slowly I've learned. I still don't know everything. There's a lot to it. Like I said, it's simple and complex at the same time, but you have to get in and search it in order to grow. You're not gonna grow in your knowledge if you're not in this book every day. But it brought me to Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. And it says, trust in the Lord with all of your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your ways path. He will make your path straight. As a father, like, to my son, like, I'm not always going to be around. But you come from me. You have my DNA in you. And so you're never by yourself. And even if I'm not with you in the physical, I'm with you. I'm in you. I'm inside of you. I'm in your brain. We have the same DNA, same brains, thoughts. Spirit of God is the main thing. You have inherited the blessings and the gifts and the knowledge that God's put inside me is in you. You just have to search for it and find it. God will reveal everything to you. But things are going to happen in your life and you're not going to understand. It happens to me. It happens to everybody who walks in this life. Read this whole chapter, Proverbs 3, and really all the book of Proverbs. It's a wisdom chapter. God tells us the wisdom is the way of life, and God, following his knowledge, is the way to life, and life more abundantly as he promises. If we're out here and we're following in our own ways, and for me, your dad made plenty of mistakes because I was trying to do it in my own way, and I was trying to figure out my own understanding. Some things you're not meant to understand. That's the things of this world. Like that's not from God. We want to try to understand the things that God is doing, and that's how we're living our best life. If you try to understand the world, it'll drive you crazy and it'll hold you down and pull you back. Some things you just have to let go of, and you have to give it to the Lord and keep moving forward. Keep chasing God. Don't get distracted by the things that don't make sense and that you can't figure out, because 9 times out of 10, that's from the enemy. If God wanted you to figure it out, he'd let you figure it out, and he'd let you have it, because it'd be his best for your life. If things aren't staying and keeping in your life, it's most likely because You're trying too hard to hold on to something that God is trying to take away from you for your best, so you can have your best life and become who you're supposed to be. It's all to glorify God. If you're following God in His ways, you're going to feel and learn more about yourself than chasing the world and what everybody else is doing, and leaning on your own understanding and trying to figure everything out in your own strength and power. It's an endless race. That race. It's an endless hole that never leads anywhere. It's like an endless loop. You keep chasing your own tail, and you're never gaining any ground. You're spinning your wheels. You're hitting the gas, but you ain't got no tread on your tires. So it's just spinning. You're spending all your gas and your time and your energy, but you're not getting nowhere. Get in this Word and follow God, and lean not on your own understandings, but follow and walk in His ways and His righteousness, and He will elevate you as much work as you're wanting to put in. He'll take you to wherever He wants to put you. It's all in His hands. It's about letting go and surrendering to Him and being free. Taking a hold of His promises and just walking in it, not taking the things that failed and the things that weren't right and stuff that weren't from God and holding on to them, or letting them hold on to you. Better off. You just waste your time. You struggle more than you have to. God doesn't want you to struggle. I was feeling something this morning. It's like the Lamb's Book of Life. When you accept Christ, you're written in the Lamb's Book of Life. But it's like, what is the Bible? In my opinion, it's like, this is the book of life, right? I mean, it's Jesus. It's the Word. The Word was God. It was since the beginning. All of this book is life. And if you're not getting in it every day, it's hard to take and hold that life and actually put it into your daily walk and into your daily bread. That's why it says daily bread, is because this Word is your spiritual bread. As sons and daughters of God, we're in the Spirit now and supposed to follow God and be like Jesus. What would Jesus do? And keep the mind of Christ. That's how we stay in the Spirit. What would Jesus do? We're not always going to get it right. We're going to make mistakes and we're going to fail. We're going to be in the flesh. We're at war in the flesh. You're gonna lean more on what you feed. If you're feeding with the Spirit of God and the book of life and staying in it, you're going to have life. You're going to have the gifts. You're going to have the peace, the fruits. If you're walking and feeding the flesh more, you're going to walk in the flesh. You're going to be feeding the non-fruits. You're going to lose faith. You're going to lose belief. You're going to lose hope. That's the way that works. That's why the world is falling apart. It's obvious. Open up your eyes and look. But like I said, lean not on your own understanding, and don't be foolish. Don't hang around with the foolish. The foolish will rub off on you, and that will take you in there, and you'll start trying to understand the world, and you can't understand the world. That's not going to get you nowhere. Like I said, you'll be spinning those wheels. But yeah, I think that's good. I'm starting to pull this down. I think I got my message in, and I love you all, and I hope you have a blessed and beautiful day. You're never alone. And just like I was talking about with my son, I'm always with you. Well, God's the same way. God's always inside of us. If you feel like you can't hear from God and you can't see God, look in the mirror. Look in the mirror and look in your eyes. Son, you twinkle in my eye. You started out inside of me. Well, we sons and daughters of God, we all started out with God in the beginning. And He created us. Like I said yesterday, He knew us before He formed us in the womb. You're exactly who you're supposed to be. God doesn't make any mistakes at all. Everything happens for a reason, and we have to get out of our own understanding and just walk in that, who He made us to be. And walk in where we're at right now in this state and time. Don't get trapped in the yesterday, and don't get looking ahead to the future. We need to take one day at a time and walk in the truth of God and who we are, and find out more, growing in who we are. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Worry about who you are and what your job is, and making your life better, being the best version of yourself that you can be every day. It starts over. And who we are today and what we build on today builds our future and where we become. But don't make too many plans, because tomorrow's not promised. I had a good buddy of mine, been known for 10 years, I work with, and his father passed away. My brother, I'm sorry for that. I've already told you, but my condolences. That's not easy, but our family has gone to heaven. They're in the better place, and there's no pain, and there's no struggle, and there's no worry and doubt. It's all the fruits of the Spirit with God, and it's the peace and the freedom. It's dancing and singing. They're worshiping God. There's no bad days in heaven. I mean, I wish I was there sometimes, but God's got me here for a reason, to have life and have it abundantly. He says that in his word, and so I've got to get in here and figure it out just like you do. And then we share it. We share. That's what God does. God shared his life and his wisdom with all of us. And so we have to pay it forward and share with others. That's what makes this life so beautiful, is building relationships and growing with others and helping people like God did, being like God. That's what life's all about. What would Jesus do? But I love y'all, and I hope you have a blessed and beautiful day. And I hope you just take this word to heart. You are a son and daughter of God. You are made in his image. He says that in the word. And if you're looking at yourself, because I used to do it like I ain't nothing and I'm not worth anything, well, that's just not true. Yes, we're nothing. Yes, we're made from dirt. Stay humble. But God's in you, and God's claimed you. God has you in this book of life. So get in this book of life and get yourself out and figure out who you really are, because those lies of you're worthless and you're not doing any good and you're not helping anything is a lie. You help people every day just by getting up and walking in your gifts that God has given you. Just smiling at people and giving people a little bit of encouragement. Everybody's hurting. Everybody's struggling. We're all going through it together. Don't get caught up in the struggle. Get caught up in the life that we have. Just be glad that we can struggle. Because like I said, some people don't wake up. Some people didn't wake up this morning. You've got the opportunity and the free will to make a choice to make a better life in following Christ. But if you turn away and you don't want God, and you're half in, half out, and are not getting this book every day, well, how can you experience and how can you walk in it? God's not going to force you to do nothing. But if you ask for his help and you go seeking him, he'll pick you up every time, and he'll elevate you. He'll take you to new levels, but you've got to trust and obey. In Jesus' mighty name, thy will be done. Amen. Love you. See you tomorrow. Have a blessed day and be a blessing. Peace.